Hey everyone. Today I want to talk about the undocumented Domo APIs and how it is relatively easy to figure out what they are by sniffing network traffic. So I know this topic can be a little complicated, or it seems like it's complicated, but it's actually not. And so I want to make a video today where the goal of it is I want to show you how you can programmatically run a connector and kind of my workflow that I do that I've kind of developed over the last couple of months. And so let's just hop into it real quick. The most common use case I've seen with the undocumented APIs, you'd like to be able to run a connector, right? You'd like to be able to run a connector programmatically so that it updates, it begins the import, and it stores in Domo. And so the first thing you'll do is you'll always, when you're in Domo, you right click the screen and click inspect. And then here we'll come over to our network tab. And this here is just documenting all of the HTTP requests that are coming in and out of the instance. And so in this case, right, if I want to know what API request is fired off for the connector to refresh. And so what I'll do here is I'll make sure this is recording up here and I'll click run now. And then I'll stop the recording and see how the connector is importing. Great. And you'll see that there's a couple requests that come in. So in this case, I know this execution request is the one that we're looking for. This takes a little bit of trial and error, but basically you'll look through and see like, hey, what is the URL that it's requesting? What's the payload? What's the response? In this case, this is the API that can trigger a connector job to start. And so a cool thing about Chrome developer tools is you can actually right click this and click copy. And we're going to copy this as a bash curl command. And then I'm going to come into Postman. So I'm assuming that with this video, you've seen or worked with Postman before. If you haven't, I would recommend just going to look at a tutorial real quick. Just in summary, it's a really awesome API testing tool. And one of the cool features is it allows you to import requests. So in this case, I can import raw text and put it in. And in this case, right, I don't understand curl requests very well, but I do know that this is a curl request. And if I click continue, it'll spit out a Postman request that I can then do for testing, right? So in this case, if I want to see this in action, I can click send and it'll show that it's triggered. If I come back here, we can see that my connector is triggered, right? So that's an example of how it's working. One thing to note here is that right now it's authenticating with a cookie. And so for example, if I take this cookie off and click send, it's going to give me an error, right? Saying it can't tell who I am. So it's saying unauthorized. And so the way we get around this is we are going to come over here to our access tokens and we're going to generate a new access token. And so I'll just call this test and it'll be for my user. And we'll just say it'll be only for today. So I'll generate it. It gives me this awesome big old hash. So I'll copy that and come back to Postman. And now in the header section, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a new header that's called xdomo developer token. And I'm going to paste in that token. And so this is basically saying, hey, I am who I am, and I'm authenticating with the Domo API. So now if I send off that request again, we can see that we get a valid response. And if I come back to my Domo instance, okay, it's so quick. Hold on, let me try that one more time. Send, and you can see it started the import, right? So this is an example of how you programmatically can trigger a job. That's about it, right? So I would just say it's not as scary as it seems. Just remember, inspect, Chrome is your friend, go to inspect, go to network settings, play around with it, right? If you're wanting to automate something, make sure you're recording, do something in Domo and see how the APIs come in and then copy them into Postman. Make sure you change the cookie out for the developer token and you're good to go. So let me know what you think. Thanks, everybody.